a gathering of the Juggalos, right?
Oh, I would love to go to, what is it called? The Juggalo Fest or something?
Gathering of the Juggalos.
It is just called that? Yeah, I'm in.
Fucking just said it.
I'm in. I'm so in.
Yeah.
Would you be a Jugga-ho?
Oh, you know it. I'd be ripping my Fago and just fucking singing chicken hunting.
It's Fago Friday.
Yes, they go Moon Mist.
Hot Boy Shane the Cannibal, Mike G. We're Juggalos today. I don't know where this came in because we are reviewing Monster Brawl.
Monster! We have a cat having a sneeze attack.
She's aggressively sneezing into a mic.
If you look at the
That's
cat, if you actually grab the cat, I can promise you there's a snot booger just popped out of her nostril.
Matt, could you get a fact check on that booger? I mean, you don't have to.
She's gonna sneeze on Matt.
Bry's gonna go.
Fact checking the snot booger.
Is it big?
Yeah, there's a snot booger, but she's fucking licking it.
Oh, Chowder.
Brian is currently cleaning the cat of said snot booger.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh, she got
It's probably on the desk. Oh, she did lick it.
Yeah, it's there on the right side.
That's okay, Chow.
It's okay, Chowie.
Be free. You don't want to be.
Great. All right. Chowder loves being a part of the show, and we love having her on the
Which
show.
is
Yeah.
weird because she's like sweet and wholesome, and we're kind of like,
The opposite.
yeah, not that.
I actually think we're pretty wholesome. I like to consider us the Jimmy Hart of podcasts.
The mouths of the South.
Yeah.
We're mouths in the South.
Yeah.
Are we all mouth though?
No, you're South,
Okay.
and I'm Mouth, and Brian's Jimmy.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's talk Monster Brawl. Brian set the tone about it last week. It's the middleweight and the heavyweights clashing in a tournament for the titles. Brian, reel off our contestants.
I will absolutely reel off the contestants. In the heavyweight division, we have Werewolf. We have Swamp Gut.
Yes.
We have Zombie Man. And we have Frankenstein. Those are the heavyweights. The middleweights, you got Vampire Lady.
Yes.
You got Cyclops. You got Witch Bitch. And you got, I don't even remember
Mummy.
the Mummy. That's right.
Yes.
So the thing is, they have like two different divisions too. They have the undead and then the creatures.
Yes.
And so you break this down, essentially they're going to kind of square off against each other in the tournament. So the way the tournament's going to kind of like fall out is you're going to have the first match, it's going to be Cyclops and the Witch Bitch. So then that would mean that Cyclops, I believe, is a creature.
Yes.
Witch Bitch is also a creature.
Yes.
And then you have the other one would be the Mummy, who would be undead, versus Vampire Lady, also undead.
Yes.
Then in the other bracket, which is the heavyweights, you have undead, which is Frankenstein versus the Zombie Man, and then creatures, you have Werewolf versus the Louisiana Swamp Guy.
Yes. And then in the heavyweight bracket, the winner of those two matches is going to clash in our main event to crown the ultimate champion of undead and creatures.
They also have a title belt, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it's like got bones on it.
Yeah.
A bone belt.
It's an interesting concept. This is no ordinary like wrestling match. They scoured the world for these zombies. These monsters. And I like it because they're not just like your typical zombies, your typical Wolfman's Frankenstein. You have some new ones in there, like a Vampire Lady or a Swamp Gut. There's some Witch Bitch.
I love just throwing a Cyclops in there. He's just a blacksmith by day, ass kicker by night.
And I do like the backstories. That's
the
my
backstories
favorite.
a good one.
We get promos. We get video packages. We get Lance Hendrickson.
You get it. You also get the fucking Gravedigger, who's the Harbinger.
The Harbinger.
Yeah,
the Harbinger.
he tells them basically like, I've warned you guys not to do this. You're messing with the evil. This is the burial ground. You don't want to fuck around with this place because it is technically in a crypt. It's in a cemetery. But yeah, so essentially that's just stating the tournament that's going to take place, and they do have an intro where I believe it's the Mouth of the South has a one-on-one with the guy who created it and the reason for creating it, and how Friday nights where his friends would go party, he'd be watching old monster movies and jacking himself off to good old wrestling tapes.
Yeah, like any boy did in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how everyone grew up back then.
Jacking off to
Wrestling tapes.
who was there? Sable. That's a good one.
Yeah, the Cat.
That's a really
Tori
good
Wilson.
one. Yeah,
Stacy Keibler.
it's a lot of good whacking to be had.
That's what I'm saying. Tori Wilson saying in her induction speech, "I know I was a lot of your first masturbation sequence."
Did
pretty
she
much.
actually say
she
that?
said that?
Yeah, I forgot how she phrased it, but yes.
Did she say like, "I know I was your guy's first nut"?
Yep, pretty much like how she phrased it.
That makes her even.
Did she
hotter.
date A-Rod?
Tori Wilson did date A-Rod.
Right? That was a thing for a while.
Yes.
Remember when George Clooney had Stacy Keibler for a while?
Yeah.
That was hot.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Tori Wilson's amazing. Like, I loved her.
She's real for knowing like that's.
Oh yeah, so great. Literally a goat.
Also-
of, like, 90s, 2000s.
Her Playboy spread, goated.
Yeah, I remember you looked at it in the deli.
Yeah, that was good. I think the clerk like
Were
saw me.
all these wrestling divas in Playboy? 'Cause I know Sable was Playboy for sure.
So it was Tori Wilson, Sable, Christy Hemme, and Ashley Mazzaro were the ones. all?
Ashley, yeah, you said Chris. Yeah,
I think there's the four.
China.
China did do it. You're
Yeah.
right.
She was Playboy. That's nuts. Rest in peace.
She
And
ended,
then-
up, she ended up doing porn eventually.
Yep,
China?
X-Pac.
She has more than Playboy on her resume.
Yeah, she got X-Pac porn. X-Pac, sorry.
Were they dating at all?
They were. They
Yeah.
were. It was like one of those like one night in Paris type videos or whatever.
Yeah,
So good stuff. Good
One
stuff.
night in Bangkok.
God, Bangkok Dangerous.
Oh my God.
one night
We
in the.
need to review Bangkok Dangerous on this podcast.
Is that a?
It's definitely not low budget.
it's
but we can
not,
do it. It was
but
straight to DVD.
It is, and we can't review it on the A show. And I need
true.
Mike to watch Nick Cage in Bangkok Dangerous.
He is a hitman, right?
He is. It's so good. Okay, so let's talk about this. Lance Henriksen is going to give like the backstory of each of these people. He's going to like give like
He's the
a
narrator.
monologue. He
Yep.
narrates everything. And our first matchup of the night is going to be Cyclops against the Witch Bitch.
Let's go into the backstory of the Cyclops.
Let's do it. He is from Greece. He is a day trader, a blacksmith, and he is the town freak because he has the eye in the center of his head.
You know he just hangs out on the outskirts of town, but he's definitely the best forger in the biz.
Yes, no one's better.
A friar comes to deliver him that he's been, I guess, summoned
Yeah.
to the. I guess people know about him and they
Yes.
want him. Like, it's interesting how he would even be called. I guess because he's such a freak, such a monster.
Yeah.
I think he's got a heart of gold.
He does. His eye's realistic looking.
I also like how they chose the locations and backstory because I feel like it makes sense. Like the Cyclops Greek, the mythology, like it fits.
So
like it.
my favorite part of this movie is that it's well done in the sense that they don't just throw all 8 of these into like a fucking crypt.
Yeah.
Like you see these scenes and
Do you know what I would have liked even more? And that's why I really hope they would have ever like do a second one, like a Titantron music. Like I really would love for them to go all
There's
out
so much potential.
because the music's good, but they use the same music for everybody.
That's the issue. And this is easily fixed with just a bigger budget.
Right.
Where you could do that. This is like such a cool concept. I'm shocked no one has actually tried to do a higher budget version of this.
That was that. Like, is it sometimes like a little bit try hard in the sense that like they try to make it funny and it falls a little bit, but I feel like it's super fucking clever.
yeah, like
Agreed.
The announcers are really funny.
Yes.
His training montage, he's throwing boulders.
Yeah, it's like fantastic.
That's fucking tight.
And he's got like that legendary like that super laser beam move, which is like a lore of the Cyclops.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I love it. And even Jimmy Hart in his little role where he's just with those 2 smoking hot girls and he's just like, oh man, this is going to be a crazy one coming up.
Yeah, it's like
I like him in that little Weasley
Yo,
role.
Me too.
That was a good impression of him.
That
It kinda-
was-
dude, it kind of sounds like me when I do GNN.
Yeah. But that's how Jimmy Hart sounds.
yeah,
like,
it literally is. He just has that like really like Weasley high pitched voice.
Welcome back to GNN.
no, yes. He's perfect though. Jimmy Hart, man, such a good like manager.
Yeah,
One of the best all time. Not as good as like Paul Heyman.
Paul
but-
Heyman's goated.
No,
probably,
Paul Heyman's
yeah.
goated.
Is the
Well,
goat.
they're different though. Paul Heyman's a weasel, but like a sophisticated weasel.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy Hart, since he was the mouth of the South, always was like that kind of like scumbaggy, like Weasley,
Yeah.
greasy weasel.
with
I loved
a,
it.
with a fucking Megaphone,
It was
yeah.
great. Like he was so good because you loved hating him.
Yeah, but what I like about Monster Brawl is they do have managers. Like you have the Grub, this little leprechaun who
I
kind of
love it.
with a straw hat that comes in and tries to recruit the witch out of Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Literally this outcast lady that gets called a witch bitch. She has a pentagram on her forehead and hangs out in a cottage.
And I love when they ask her what her name's gonna be. She takes on the moniker of the witch bitch.
Yes, because the townsfolk exiled her, and the Grub is basically like the townsfolk will no longer exile you; they'll bow to you if you win this tournament. Thing is, I don't know how well they pitch the fact that if like you don't win the tournament, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned that part to her.
Like I don't know.
Don't
how
think that part was mentioned.
well they established the ground rules.
So yeah, we're gonna get our first matchup. It's going to be Witch Bitch versus Cyclops, and each of these matches is legit like throwing into the ropes, like flying, like splash, like wrestling matches. There's backbreakers. Like,
Yeah, I mean, other than the killing, they have real wrestling matches.
yeah. I think they hired pretty much all wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like I said, Kurgan from the Oddities plays Frankenstein. We already looked up Vampire Lady is played by Kelly Couture.
Couture, yes.
So like all these people, I believe, are like at least some type of like wrestling.
Well,
Kevin Nash, even though he doesn't really.
He
have
doesn't.
much of a
Yeah, but
wrestling
Kevin Nash
role,
is
but-
also in this movie.
They all have ring work though. You could tell with the way they maneuver throughout like the ring. They definitely have like feet work down, and
Yeah.
they definitely have the maneuvers for sure. I think like one of the werewolf does like a fucking splash off the top rope.
That's how he wins.
Yeah, he destroys the gut of the swamp gut.
Yeah. I love they cut a quick promo
Yeah.
right before. Like this is so like if you're a wrestling fan, it's like it's kind of like when we reviewed Final Rose.
Yeah,
Like if you're a fan of that,
the reality TV, what goes
Like,
behind it, like
you'll
it,
just kind of appreciate aspects of this movie.
because like they do like specific things that are like really clever, and like they don't skip details. That like they really put in all the legwork. Like even what they have like where they're from, how many matches they like in
Yeah.
boxing sense, like how many
Right.
matches
Yes.
they won,
Height, weight.
height, weight, like the whole deal. It's all in there where they're hailing from. It's really cool.
You know how in like pro wrestling, if a wrestler takes a bump, if a ref takes a bump,
Yeah.
he's out for like 10 minutes. In this movie, they just kill the ref.
Oh, we're gonna we'll bring it up right now.
Shane sees the ring girls. He's about to implode.
Are you?
I mean, come on.
Could I get a check? Are you good?
We're good.
I'll tell you what. Since I like said like GNN, I kind of have it in me. Like I'm kind of jonesing for another episode.
Yeah, let's keep that on the back burner.
Okay.
Let's put that one in the pocket.
Yeah, let's put that one. Yeah, it's far away. Okay, so
'Cause
our
I could do a couple stories. If
yeah,
you
we're
want.
good.
Okay.
I think we're more than good actually. We're gonna get into our first bout of the middleweights. Witch Bitch versus the Cyclops, and like we said, it's a brawl to the death.
I also like how the ring girls like so the brunette has like up the Cyclops, and then the other girl is just like representing the witch
Yes.
bitch, and like with the winner they obviously
Tear the flag down.
yeah.
And we should bring up because we did say we are gonna say Herb Dean, UFC legend, is refereeing these matches.
It's literally great.
So they
So-
had Herb Dean money.
It's back in 2011 too.
Yeah. And he's going to call this right down the line.
Yeah, he's
but
a-
they're not a fan of this.
He's a good fair
So
ref.
literally
Yo, I
5
love.
seconds into the fight.
Do you see these details? Like,
It's amazing. Yeah.
dude. Like they have the Cyclops. I guess he's 3,000 years old, and he's like 300 and they have the witch bitch who's like 431 and 5.
Yeah.
Like how do they even get these metrics?
Yeah, that makes no sense. But
She's had 5 ties, huh?
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Good for her.
Legitimately, this is the record right here. He's 256 0-0. She's 431 and 5.
I think because she was fighting townspeople and losing.
Yeah, well, she got her ass kicked
Yeah.
by the guy that called her a witch bitch.
Oh, the Boston townspeople?
Yeah, I think that's her practice.
Yeah, they're angry folk.
I love that Herb gets his own entrance.
Yeah, Herb is great.
Deserves it.
He also gets his throat slit though, and is dead and eliminated. And there's no referee the rest of the matches.
You think they couldn't afford him for more than one day?
Actually, yes, because this is like peak
Yeah.
his career.
Yeah, this is like when UFC was literally exploding. This is like when Connor was taking off too. I feel like UFC was really big at this time. Like,
Yeah.
They had the $200,000 budget on this movie.
really?
I actually think it was all to Herb Dean and Kevin Nash.
Probably.
Because you know Jimmy Hart's cheap.
Well, Jimmy
Whoa.
Hart is just probably watching stuff on his couch.
Yeah, like
in the South.
Jimmy Hart is definitely being paid with megaphones.
Cheap megaphones.
Yeah. All right. So the first bout, it's your typical wrestling match. We're really not going to focus too much on that. It's just all of it's, Irish whips, backbreakers, suplexes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the finish, I think, of each match.
I think you can. I mean, I think the thing is, like, he takes out, like, doesn't he take out a weapon and hits her with it?
Yes.
And then that's when, like, she takes out her or the grub gives her the cleaver. Someone gives her a cleaver.
Yes.
And then
that's when she kills Herb Dean.
she literally murders Herb Dean. And then for the rest of the tournament, there's no referee.
Yes. So, which bitch is going to get murdered in this match by having her face melted by the Cyclops' side?
It's like in Dragon Ball Z, like Tien's like
Yeah.
fucking eye beam.
And
Literally
he just
implodes
melts
her
her.
face.
He melts her face, and he is the middleweight champion of the creatures.
Yep. And then I think that is the next set. Is it like the middleweight of the undead,
Yes.
which is
Yes. So the next set is going to be Vampire Lady, because they probably didn't have the rights to Dracula, against the Mummy.
really? Is that really true?
I don't know. I
You're
was
not-
kind of shocked they didn't go with Dracula.
You might be right, but I also at the same time kind of like that they wouldn't do the same
Yeah.
like typical ones. I don't know, but you're probably right.
Actually,
Yes.
Dracula might be public domain at this point, so they probably could have just used Dracula.
I always thought Dracula was because, well, unless it's the Hollywood version of the reimagining of like Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, I'm sure they could have. I do like that they used the girl though. It's different.
Yeah.
Keeps it fresh. So she's gonna fight the Mummy. The Mummy storyline is he literally escaped from a museum.
He kills,
In New York. It's
Yes.
literally a New York museum that he just was in, I guess, to be put in as a display. I think they said like
Yep.
it's Pharaoh Kaftan. I don't even know if it's a real one, but he's legitimately breaks out, kills the guard that is forklifting him.
Yes.
What's the big museum in New York? Natural history.
History.
Yeah.
It's probably where he's
This
at.
was not the no. This was like the
No?
Metropolitan Museum.
Yes. Which is another big museum in New York. So he's gonna escape from that.
Wasn't one of these dudes from Jersey, they say?
Yes, the werewolf,
Yeah.
which makes so much fucking sense because they're talking about the camping, and you're already thinking of like Camp Crystal Lake and the woods of Jersey. It was I think it was like Silver Springs, which I don't even know if it's a real town in Jersey. That's definitely a look up, but you can look up that later.
Doesn't TBS have a song called Timberwolves at New Jersey?
Yeah.
Well, they're New Jersey based. Khafra, King Khafra is the mummy.
There you go. Now, Vampire Lady, she obviously is gonna hail from Transylvania.
Yeah, yep.
And
Did you guys read the bottom line of this newscast?
No.
Some of it's pretty funny.
now I'm just
crazy.
reading it. You have me reading it.
Sorry.
Confirmation.
MILF alert.
Silver Springs is a New Jersey location.
Love it.
Okay.
By like Shore Hills area.
Okay.
Short Hills.
Shore Hills, yeah.
That's fucking like 20 minutes from like where we grew up.
Interesting.
Let's go.
All right. So now we're in Transylvania. We're getting the
Feldorf.
We're getting the Vampire Lady. Is this supposed to be like Van Helsing going to her?
Yeah, who the fuck is
he
this
seems
guy?
like kind of like a reporter. I don't know. Like, because he was like investigating like local murders,
Yes, you're right. You're right.
and he goes up to like this ginormous mansion. Like over the course of a week, there's like a ton of murders. So he goes to this estate, and it's very clearly a vampire lady who answers the door.
So, how does she get recruited?
It's a great question because like the basic interaction between them two, he's like, I'm investigating murders, and then she presents herself as someone that actually did commit the murder. So
Yes.
he shoots them. He shoots her,
And
then
she's alive.
And then you just see him like leave the premises with his throat bit,
Yeah.
and then that's that. I mean, like these gypsies are dead, and she's entering the tournament. That's literally it.
Yeah. So now it's her versus the Mummy. They have their whole fight. Goes on, goes on, goes on. The announcers are fucking hilarious as always. She wins with pulling the mummy's black heart out of the mummy's chest, and that obviously the black heart of the mummy is how the mummy's alive, and that kills the mummy.
She's a legit like she actually
Yes.
pulls off some pretty good wrestling moves. I feel like the mummy is weak. Like through this whole thing, he does put her down, and then he tries to grab the wooden stake from the crypt.
Yes.
to kill her, but like.
See, he takes her lightly, and that was his
Well, no,
downfall.
he's a mummy. He's too slow. He was never gonna keep up with the vampire lady.
Yeah, the vampire lady was just too fit. Maybe she's just wise because she's been she's been undead for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's been in a crate. Like, what could he have done?
He was
like reanimated.
Never gonna win this match. So he is killed, heart decapitation or whatever the announcer says, and she is now the middleweight champion of the Creatures.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah,
well
for sure.
deserved.
Look at that shit. She's quick.
And now we're gonna get into our heavyweight bouts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm psyched.
And
These
I
are the big
believe
ones.
the first bout we go to is the Werewolf versus the Swamp Gut is the first one.
Oh, yeah. These are great intros. So,
Dude,
like, the
Swamp
intro to
Gut-
the Werewolf is Silver Springs, New Jersey, where this guy is just with his wife, significant other, and he's remembering this. It's like a flashback of like he's just like out in the woods and he goes back to the campsite and his wife is just horrifically mauled, lets out a terrible scream. And then he's burning that picture because now he's looking to hunt the werewolf.
Yes.
That did this. He
chops
suspects
wood,
it.
laces boots, lifts some weights.
Obviously, none of this
Runs.
works out for him. He's going to get attacked. He's going to get turned into the werewolf.
Shane, he's training.
He does
his
kill
body.
the werewolf though.
He does, right? But he gets bit while fighting the werewolf.
In the process, because that's the thing. It's not the werewolf. He becomes the werewolf, and then he is the werewolf in the tournament.
Yes. So he is going to be the one who has to fight
For your right.
to party.
And
the
the-
Louisiana Swamp
I
Gut.
just want to say this is probably my favorite part of the movie. The fact that they are doing Grizzly Planet, and it's just like a discovery planet of an animal, but it's about one of the 10 left remaining Louisiana swamp guts.
Yes.
The fact that there's even 10 is
Oh, maybe not swamp guts, but he said there's 10 guts left in the world, and this one is the one that is in Louisiana.
And the Swamp Gut is all about cleaning the swamps. He's all about getting the trash removed from the swamp.
Yeah,
And
he
just,
actually he eats it.
He stores it in his gut.
Yeah, he stores all the bad parts of the environment in his guts to preserve the swamp gut. But the problem is, it's still bad. Like this guy's just smoking. Like it's terrible. It's pollution. It's destroying the bayou.
I actually think Louisiana Swamp Gut, good guy overall.
Oh yeah, he has good morals. He has this puke attack that like melts your face and incapacitates you.
tight.
It'll
That's like
get ya.
from fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's like
or something.
reptile shit. It'll
Yeah,
get you.
that's
But then he
dope.
eats you. He's a cannibal. He'll eat you.
Yeah.
Only
you right
'cause
in
he's
his
trying
gut.
to clean up the swamp.
No, he's all about the swamp. So now him and the werewolf, they're clashing in the creature heavyweight fight. And it's a big battle.
It's a huge battle.
It's a
They're
heavyweight
going
battle.
back and forth. The swamp gut's got the upper hand. The werewolf's got the upper hand. But the swamp gut is just so thick.
He's so thick.
He's
He's
so
so
thick.
slow, and he's got bad digestion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see all those cans in his gut?
He's probably wheezing at this point.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
definitely wheezing.
I give the guy credit. That's got to be hard to wrestle in.
So the werewolf is like a natural athlete here.
Yes.
And the swamp gut is just like walking around, like very slow, very sluggish, and like I said, really bad indigestion. Honestly, this is just like speed versus power, and speed's going to prevail here, 100%.
Yeah. He's just going to just knock down the swamp gut. He's going to go to the top rope, and he's going to jump, and the swamp gut's gut is going to explode. The
Yeah.
innards are going to fly out, and the werewolf has advanced to the finals of the heavyweight fight.
That means there's 9 guts left.
Just think about how much.
Yeah, it's true.
How much time this dude had to spend in makeup for that costume.
I know.
And you have to think now, like, this has made the Louisiana swamp 10 times more pro-friendly to fishermen and hunters.
But it's also made it 10 times more dirty because who's going to clean up the swamps with the swamp gut dead?
Oh, that's what I meant.
So like when werewolves like turn, they get like real horny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, werewolves are just pure hornballs.
They should have done something with that in this movie.
They should have. It
Like,
was a missed
the
opportunity.
werewolf, like he gets super horny, goes to the ringside girls, plows.
we
back
should
to
probably
the-
plow the vampire lady because
That would have been good.
those vampires are horny
Yes,
too.
Matt. Yes. God, you're such a good slave.
So now we got Frankenstein versus Zombie Man. Frankenstein, classic tale. He's gonna
Everyone
be
knows
made
it.
by Dr. Franken. Yeah, you know.
Well, he's not Dr. Franken, but they try to go that route.
Yeah, they do.
It's like some guy named like Igor or something.
Yeah.
Bro, low key, Kevin Nash is a fucking beef castle. Look at him.
He's as tall as Frankenstein.
It's
It's kind
fucking
of nuts
sick.
when they have them like straight
It's
up.
sick.
But so
His
yeah,
body.
they'll go to Germany. It's the same story. It's the crazy doctor who reanimates the Frankenstein monster, and that's Frankenstein. The Zombie Man storyline is interesting. It's Kevin Nash as this like
Soldier.
this soldier with another soldier. He
my
tells
God.
the soldier to let loose the zombie man
Yes.
experiment because he's in his own prison. He absolutely eats the hell out of that guy.
Yes.
And then Kevin Nash, Colonel Crenshaw, whatever his name is, Cripple Cross, Crossface,
Oof.
Crookshanks. Is it Colonel?
Crookshanks.
Colonel Cruikshanks.
He takes Zombie Man right up to the. He's gonna be his manager for the heavyweight bout here
Yep.
in the tourney.
And he's going to come out as his manager, and we got Zombie Man versus Frankenstein, and there was never a doubt in my mind that Frankenstein was going to win this fight.
Zombie Man is hot trash. This is like one of the biggest.
He's a waste.
This is like I feel like this is like a minus 37.
Yeah. This was strictly storyline filler fight to like lead into the big bout at the end.
Yeah.
Because basically Zombie Man gets his ass kicked, Frankenstein squashes his head and kills him. But that makes the undead upset, so they come out of their graves.
It's that great evil.
Yep. They start attacking people. Jimmy Hart's got to run. The one announcer gets bit. I believe it's
It's Sid.
Sasquatch Sid,
Yep,
right?
yep.
he gets bit. And this is important because he's going to start to turn throughout the main event fight.
Yeah, it's actually
Incredible.
really funny.
It's amazing.
And Buzz is just like, Sid, I don't think you're doing very good here.
And he's like, slash, Zombie Man.
Okay, let's get back to our main event. We've got the Wolfman taking on Frankenstein for the World Heavyweight Championship.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a good Buzz Chambers.
Thank you. I think my voices have gotten significantly better.
It's getting better.
Are you saying like I'm like finally reaching my full potential?
No. No.
So that you have like a really big tank in Frankenstein Monster, and then you have it versus again another speed demon. It's another battle here.
Yeah, speed versus height. This is a tale as old. This is like watching Game of Thrones, like episode 7, the Viper taking on the Mountain.
Yeah, it's like X-Pac versus Kane before their tag team.
Yes, this is like watching me versus Mike G. Just speed versus the tank.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is.
Thank you.
Underlord was a fucking beef mountain.
Yeah, he was. He was awesome.
And Sugar Shane was all about his speed and quickness, and he was all about his talk show, The Sugar Shack.
Sure.
It was mid.
You're gonna say we'll get to that off air. But let's talk about this fight now. Wolfman, Frankenstein. I was always pulling for the Wolfman.
Yeah, I mean, if he hails from Jersey, like the hometown kid. Of course, you're gonna vote for the Wolfman.
Yeah, Wolfman all the way.
Okay, that's I needed your opinion before that. Also, to note, Kevin Nash is also mauled by zombies while the announcer gets mauled by zombies. So Kevin Nash is also bit. That's actually a very important detail before we get to our main event.
Frankenstein was also bit previously by Zombie Man, but because he's already undead, he's not turning into a zombie.
Exactly. So now we got Wolfman fighting Frankenstein. During the fight, Sid sadly is going to succumb to his zombieism, and Buzz Chambers is going to have to kill him. So now Buzz is just going to be announcing by himself.
It's gonna go off broadcast, and he's gonna you just hear a gunshot, then he comes back with a neck brace.
Yes.
What channel you think this is airing on?
Oh, the Drunken College Guys
This is
Network.
Spike TV.
Yes, that's good. Either one works.
ESPN 8 The Ocho.
The
All
Ojo.
good answers.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win this fight, boys?
If you had to like make me choose, I would have said Frankenstein.
Yeah.
probably.
Dude, he's doing a figure 4 leg lock right now.
Well, Frankenstein is going to win this match.
Yeah.
He's going to literally rip the head off, right, of the Wolfman
So
at the end.
it's really interesting because like. So the Wolfman puts him in the figure 4. Frankenstein just has so tall. He just hits him, gets out of the figure 4, and then looks like he breaks his neck.
Yes.
Leaves the belt comes down. It looks like it's over. It's not. The Wolfman's still alive. Comes out. They have a graveyard brawl. But then, like you said, Frankenstein literally takes his jaw and rips his head off.
Yes. and Frankenstein, he's in the ring, centering, holds the belt up high. But just like we're booking WCW Nitro in 1999, Kevin Nash comes down to take the title because some things never change. Every time in WCW in the 90s, it was always Kevin Nash at the very end. Kevin Nash was the final boss. In this movie, Kevin
Goldberg.
Nash, final boss. Sadly, we never got a sequel to see that fight.
No.
Yo, did those two babies get bit by the undead or?
They just disappeared.
So it looks
They
like
survived.
It looks like Frankenstein
good.
is so big compared to the other people, and then he's literally the same height as
Kevin Nash is literally a fucking tank. Look at him.
I love Kevin Nash.
Such a fucking beefcake.
I need to see more Kevin Nash movies that aren't Slaw.
It actually looks like Kevin Nash is gonna fucking sock him in the face.
It does.
Like the way they cut this movie
Yeah.
out. Like if you watch that, it looks like he's taking a shot right to the face. I'm sure Frankenstein could probably eat that. And like
Yeah, he'll get his shots in.
the thing is, like once you knock Frankenstein down, he's not coordinated. He's
No.
like just big. I actually might take Nash.
I'm
in
taking,
this
taking
one.
Big- I'm taking Big
that.
Kev.
Yeah, I'm taking-
Zombie Kev.
Yeah, I'm taking Zombie Kev.
What was it? He was Diesel, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Diesel.
Big Diesel.
Big Kev.
Big sexy.
Big Sexy. I call him Big Kev.
Yo,
Yeah, I think he socked him.
he gets a shot. He gets a lick. That's
Yeah, I wonder how he.
call it.
I mean, like he doesn't really feel pain. That's the only thing. It's like, he'd have to like do something, like actually like disembowel him in some way. But
He's just a big oaf, though.
Big
yeah,
oaf.
something to think about.
All right, let's rate this movie.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
It's a classic. It's Monster Brawl. I mean,
It's great. You like wrestling, you like monsters, you like jerking off. This is a movie for you.
yep, that's it.
You like
The three
mouths? You like the South?
Yeah. Watch this
You
movie.
like megaphones?
See, like this is a movie that needs a sequel. Like I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about,
need a
like,
Monster Brawl
Talking
too.
about like movies that like no, please do not make a sequel. This is a movie that absolutely 1000% needs a sequel. It's a really good start, and you can just make it like that much better by adding pyro, maybe an island theme, like change it up.
Yes.
like different types
There's
of
so many other
monsters.
creatures you could throw in there.
Literally add a cool couple of wrestlers. There's a couple of cool referees over time.
Different types of matches. Steel Cage, First Blood.
Give
Hell
me
in
an
the
Earl
Cell.
Hebner.
Earl Hebner.
I'll take a Earl Hebner bump.
Good, Paul Heyman would be great in something.
Yeah,
like
would
that.
love Paul
would be great. You'd have to pay Paul a ton to
Could
do
you
this,
imagine
though.
like Paul and Vicky Guerrero being in this?
I would love Vicky Guerrero.
Excuse me.
Vicky Guerrero is actually perfect casting.
Yeah, like you could do so much.
Bro, remember that storyline where her and Edge were like fucking tonguing each other?
Yeah, well, she also tongued Dolph.
yeah, that was incredible. It was
crazy,
literally
dude.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. All right. That's Monster Brawl. Next week, we're continuing our trend of doing movies that kind of pioneered this show. So we are doing Ice Spiders.
This
Another-
fucking didn't pioneer shit. Except for like it's lit though.
Ice Spiders
I
is...
think it pioneered being lit.
So, yeah. Next week, Ice Spiders it is, baby.
Truly a movie that writes its own rules. It is so great.
I love it.
Reminds me of our trip to Vermont.
It does. Ice Spiders, how I love you.
It's way more lit though.
All right, tune in www.thefinalpodcast.com
You know where,
for all
you
the
know
you know
when.
where to catch the
Shut
Shanghai
up.
Show, the Bogart Show, every Friday for the low budget fun, and every Monday for the A Show, the actual show, the best show, frankly, the actual show, the amazing show, the real show, the only show. But this is the B Show, so catch you next
Show.
week.
Barracuda.